Zoom call or the webinar is also in front of you. The importance of investment in current time. Okay, we will be looking at the importance of investment from various perspectives, and in the call we will also be covering the types of investment and the various funds which can be looked into current circumstances for investment. Then we will also visit the concepts of wealth creation. What is the difference between investment and wealth creation? And then we'll also look at the the importance of insurance. Why the insurance should be the integral part of the investment plan. So here we go.
Rishi, sir?
Yeah.
So the participants are asking you to use even Hindi, sir. So it will be great if you can use both Hindi and
Okay.
English. I guess we have
So
participants.
I'll do it in Hindi and English mix. Okay. Good afternoon everyone. मेरा नाम ऋषि बोबरा है and I am working with Motilal Oswal for past 15 years. 15 साल से काम कर रहा हूँ और मेरा डेजिग्नेशन है सीनियर ग्रुप वाइस प्रेसिडेंट। और आज का जो टॉपिक है वो आपके सामने स्लाइड पे है कि इन्वेस्टमेंट जो है उसका इम्पोर्टेंस क्या है करंट टाइम में। जो आज जो समय है उसमें इन्वेस्टमेंट की इम्पोर्टेंस क्या है। और ये टॉपिक इस टॉपिक को हम कहीं वी विल बी लुकिंग इनटू दिस टॉपिक फ्रॉम वेरियस पर्सपेक्टिव, जैसे कि इन्वेस्टमेंट की इम्पोर्टेंस क्या है, किस किस के टाइप के इन्वेस्टमेंट आज के सर्कमस्टांसेस में हमको करना चाहिए, क्या क्या इन्वेस्टमेंट ऑप्शन सुटेबल है। और हम लोग ये भी देखेंगे कि वेल्थ क्रिएशन और इन्वेस्टमेंट के बीच में डिफरेंस क्या है, और वेल्थ क्रिएशन करने के लिए क्या क्या इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ें हैं जो हमको ध्यान में रखनी चाहिए। और इसके अलावा विल ऑल्सो फॉर सम टाइम विल ऑल्सो बी स्पेंडिंग ऑन द इंश्योरेंस। एज क्यों इंश्योरेंस रहना चाहिए, क्यों इंश्योरेंस के बिना एक जो इन्वेस्टमेंट प्लान है वो अधूरा है। तो हियर वी गो गाइस। Now, the slide which is in front of you, it sums up the importance of investment. Okay. एक्चुअल में अगर मैं टॉपिक देखूं प्रीवियस स्लाइड पे, तो टॉपिक था इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट इन करंट टाइम। मेरे हिसाब से ये टॉपिक मतलब थोड़ा सा जो है वो आई थिंक इट हैज टू बी रीफ्रेम्ड एंड इट शुड बी एक्चुअली मेड प्लेन वनीला सिंपल द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट। क्योंकि मेरे हिसाब से इन्वेस्टमेंट हर हालत में इम्पोर्टेंट है, चाहे करंट टाइम हो, अच्छा टाइम हो, खराब टाइम है। इन्वेस्टमेंट जो है इट इज इम्पोर्टेंट इन ऑल कंडीशन। उसका कारण क्या है कि अगर हम लोग इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं करेंगे तो हम लोग कभी हम पैसे की जरूरत होगी, जो भी डिफिकल्ट अप्रोप्रिएट मनी सेव फॉर, और इन्वेस्टमेंट की जरूरत होती है ताकि हम लोग इतना पैसा बचा सके फ्यूचर जो ऑब्लिगेशन है, बच्चों की शादी हो, एजुकेशन है, हमारा रिटायरमेंट का पर्पस क्रिएट करना है, और जो हमारे एस्पिरेशंस हैं, मतलब आपको फॉरेन ट्रैवल करना है, घर लेना है। अगर इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं करेंगे तो उन सब चीज़ों के लिए हम लोग पैसा नहीं बचा पाएंगे। सेजल, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible, but sir, there are a lot of participants who are saying don't mix English and Hindi. So, sir, you can go either way, like more of English,
Yeah.
less of Hindi, sir. We'll take it like that, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll now I'll try to do it in the best way I could possible, because so importance of investment, it is the investment is important not only in current scenario but is also important always. The reasons why the investment is important are because it will help you save money for your rainy days. We may fall into difficult times like what we are today, and luckily some of the employers are good and they continue to pay salary. But in case our salary stops for any reason, or if we are not able to conduct our business, then the cash flow can stop. And in such scenario, the money which we have saved earlier through investment will only be the helpful, will only be the available for help. Second thing, we should also do investment for meeting our future obligation and aspiration that I spoke about earlier, like building houses, providing for the education of children and their marriages, and creating a corpus for our retirement. Some people, some people, they have enough money, but they still would like to do investment because the investment lead to wealth creation, and it kind of a sense of pride. If you more money, you take a pride in it, and which is essentially getting rich. So basically, these are 3 4 reasons why the investment should be made, and it's always important to do the investments. Now, creating an investment plan basically would require one to balance these 4 often contradictory variables. So if you have to create a good investment plan, you have to look it into basically 4 parameter: your liquidity needs. Sometimes you need money as soon as you want it. So in such case, for example, if you want a high liquid investment, then probably in such a scenario you should not be investing money into the property, because it might take a lot of time for you to dispose property. Second, risk. Many investors, they are not they don't like to take risk. So in such cases, that investing into equity is out of question, and such investors should largely look at the debt and the gold as an investment avenue. Return. Similarly, if someone is looking for a higher return, then probably he should not be looking into debt, and he should largely be looking around property and also equity. And tenure also. Tenure is very important. If you're looking to park for short term and not willing to take much of risk, then the only option which is left to us is the fixed deposit and other debt investment. But if tenures are longer and if you're expecting higher return, then probably look at equity investments also. So essentially, designing a good investment plan would need anyone to balance these following 4 variables, which are liquidity, risk, return, and tenure. So you have to assess what are your liquidity needs, what risk you can take, what return you want from your investment, and the tenure that you for which you would like to make an investment. Uh, I given one example here. For example, if your tenure is short and if you need money at call and you do not want to take much of risk and return expectation is low, then in such case the option which is suitable for such kind of situation is triple A debt. But in case if your tenure is longer, you want high liquidity, but you do not want to take risk, still your investment option is AAA debt. But if your tenure is longer and if you're expecting better return, and you are in the process willing to take little moderate risk, then you can look at the equity, and within equity you can look at the large cap funds. So essentially, designing a good investment plan would need you to focus on these 4 aspects, and then accordingly select a best option, and within that option select a instrument for the investment. uh, Now in current scenario, we recommend the way situation is, we recommend following options for investments. Someone who want to take high liquidity, he wants high liquidity from investment, then the recommended set of investment are the FDs and GSEC mutual funds. So FDs, it could be of any bank, good bank, or it could be the mutual funds which invest into the securities issued by government, largely the government bonds and also the treasury bills. So fixed deposit and GSEC. So if you are a type of investors who do not want to take much of risk and want your money to be available whenever you want it, then the options which you should be looking at in current scenarios are fixed deposit and GSEC mutual funds. In case if you are an investor who wants higher return, and in the process you want to take moderate risk, and if you like to invest for longer term, then you can look at the large cap and multi cap equity mutual fund. And in case if you want lower risk, high liquidity, and moderate return, you can look at the gold. So basically in current times, these are the recommended categories of investment, and in this recommended category of investments, you can look at these particular funds for investment. Say for example, in the large cap category, you look at Mirae Asset Large Cap Fund, which is essentially equity mutual fund. Motilal Oswal Focused 25 Fund, Aditya Birla Focused Equity Fund, and then S&P 500 Index Fund. Basically, it's a large cap fund. The S&P 500 is basically the large cap index top 500 US companies, and there is a one index fund which provide exposure to the companies which are part of S&P 500 fund. Called Value PMS, you can look at large cap exposure, and then ASK Vision 2025 fund, which is a multi-cap portfolio. And then I have listed down in front of you various investment options which you can choose based on your risk, return, liquidity, and tenure profile. Just to repeat, if you are a low risk investor and if you want high liquidity, then you should largely select the debt funds, and at the best you can go for the gold investment. But if your tenure is longer, and if you can take moderate risk but expecting little higher return, then you should look at the equity fund. Within equity, you look at mutual fund, or you can look at PMS also. So that is in nutshell. The summary of previous slide. Now we will move on to look forward to the concept of wealth creation. Generally, when people talk about wealth creation, they understand wealth creation. They refer wealth creation as that whenever they are making investment, they say that they are creating wealth. But there is a difference between wealth creation and investment. Uh, as we seen earlier, that investment can be made into debt, investments can be into gold, equity, property. So for creating wealth, one need to make an investment, but not necessarily every investment will lead to creation. The definition of wealth creation is that you should be making investment in such a fashion that your investment should yield at least twice the inflation return. So, for example, if inflation is 5%, and if by making an investment, if you are earning less than 5%, then you are not, you are investing for wealth creation. For doing the investment of wealth for wealth creation, your return should be twice of inflation. Okay, then only you can say that if you are investing, that is leading to wealth creation. Now, for creating wealth or for wealth creation or maximization of wealth, you need two things. First, you need to work hard for earning money and saving it. And second, you need to save the money saved in such a fashion that it works hard for you. So for maximizing wealth or creating wealth, you need to work hard for earning money and saving it. And then you should be investing this money into such a fashion that it should yield good returns for you. Now let's understand what does it mean when I say working hard for money and then also make money work hard for yourself. So working hard for money is simply means that you need to save more. For saving more, generally what we do is that after earning whatever we earn, out of which we spend, and whatever is left we save it. Okay, that is what the general approach is. But the problem with this approach is that with rising income, the expenses also increase and the saving amount remains constant. If you want to save more, then what you need to do, then you need to change this equation, and then the equation should be that out of your income you should save first, and then whatever is left, it should be spent. If we plan our saving this way, then what would happen, that this will keep control on the expenses and they will not rise with the rising income. Okay, so we need to save more, and for that we need to keep control over the expenses. That is what I mean when I say working hard for money. Now, whatever money you have invested, you need to invest in such a fashion, as I said earlier, that it should at least lead to the twice of inflation of return, and it should be invested for as long as you can. So you get benefit by the power of compounding. Let's look at both these, the concept with here what I done, that I
Rishi sir?
say 50,000. But
Rishi sir, we lost your voice.
Hello?
So can you just repeat a bit back? Like we lost your voice last 30, 40 seconds. So.
Okay, is it better now?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. So what I said earlier, that for maximizing the wealth and for wealth creation, we need to do two things. We need to save more, and also we need to invest smartly the saved money. If we can do that, and if we can do that, the through compounding impact over longer period of time, the outcome can be really substantial. And I am explaining this concept with the example which is in front of you. Here, what I have done, I have taken two hypothetical individual and I have compared their saving pattern, and the increment in saving can lead to the difference in wealth creation over a longer period of time. So what I've done is that I have assumed that Mr. X and Mr. Y, two hypothetical individuals, their monthly income is same, say 50,000, but they differ in
Rishi, sir?
habit, where Mr. X spends more on a monthly basis. Yeah.
Rishi, sir, there's some voice issue from your end, sir.
Hello.
Rishi, sir, can you hear us?
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear, but I can't do about it. I mean, that's what the quality of network.
Sir, just a minute, sir. There's some issue, sir. 1 minute.
Yeah. Hello. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah.
So now you can go ahead, sir.
Am I audible?
No, sir, you're not.
What should I do then now?
So now it's better.
Okay.
So you can
Right.
go ahead. So
Yeah. Right. So, here in this slide, I have compared the saving patterns of two individuals, Mr. X and Mr. Y, where their incomes are, but they differ in terms of. Sorry, gentlemen, there's some problem with the network in the area from where I am based out. So there's some disturbance in between. Hope it should do all right now. So just to repeat, what I said, huge difference in the wealth creation over a period of longer time. So here I compared the saving pattern. Both of them earn same income monthly in India. While Mr. X, he spends 40,000 a month. Mr. Y is little stingy and his sales may be about 15,000 a month. So net Mr. X in a year saves about 1.2 lakhs, and while Mr. saves 1.8 lakhs. Now what they do is that they invest this money for whatever they save annually with no increase in income for next 15 years. So 5, 10, 15, and then they remain invested in the wherever they invested for next 25 years. So over a 5-year period, Mr. X would end up saving close to 6 lakhs, while Mr. Y over a period of 5 years would end up saving, 9 lakhs. Similarly, over a period of 10 years, Mr. X would save 12 lakhs, while Mr. Y would save 18 lakhs. Mr. X over a period of 15 years would save roughly about 18 lakhs, while Mr. Y over a period of 15 lakhs, over a period tenure of 15 years would save 27 lakhs. after that they stops their saving. So even after 25 years, the saving at cost would be 18 lakhs for Mr. X, and for Mr. Y it would be around 27 lakhs. Now, if they invest this money, whatever they save, and they get maybe say on an average about 12% return on their investment, then this 18 lakhs investment over a period of 25 years would translate into 1.47 crore for Mr. X. So which means that even if you do a small saving of say 10,000 per month and you do it for 15 years, 18 lakhs, but with 12% return of through compounding, this money after 25 years would become 1.47 crore. But what is remarkable here is that if you increase your monthly saving from 10,000 to 15,000, and this 60,000 extra per year would mean that you would be able to save 27 lakhs over a period of 15 years, and this 27 lakhs would translate into 2.2 crore after a period of 25 years. So saving enough saving the increasing the saving by 5,000 over a period of 15 years, and then remaining invested for 25 years would mean that your final outcome between Mr. X and Mr. Y would be roughly about 70 lakhs. So here what I'm saying is that try to cut down on the unnecessary expenditure, and wherever you could save more, and whatever you save, you invest that money for a little longer term. Now you can implement this saving pattern by opting for the SIPs into good quality equity mutual funds. So I think most of the large cap and multi cap fund over longer period of time, they have delivered 12 to 15% kind of a CAGR, and I strongly believe that in times to come they can at least deliver return in the range of 12 to 15%. Now this was the case where someone in the that instead of someone doing it on a monthly basis, I have compared the investments of two wealthy individuals who are not investing on a monthly basis, but they are beginning the investment with a sizable sum, which is a lump sum investment. So Mr. A, he has 50 lakhs, while Mr. B, he wants to invest about 60 lakhs, and both of them, they are investing it for the next 25 years. What is noteworthy to see that if this over a period of 25 years, the average return is 12%, then this 50 lakhs for Mr. A would translate into 8.5 crore. While for Mr. B, this money of 60 lakhs would become 10.2 crore. So just difference of 10 lakhs at the beginning would mean that at the end of the day, Mr. B will be richer by 1.7 crore. So one point is that here, which is very clear, that start early and invest more and invest for longer tenure. And if we are able to do so, we would end with a sizable sum at the end of at the end of the investing tenure.
Hi Rishi, sorry to interrupt. Can you speak a little louder? Participants are requesting for it.
Yeah, I'm the mic is very close to my face. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. But I think there are network issues at my place. That is why this could be the problem.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. You can continue.
Yeah, sure. So just to sum up what I said, that investing is very important in all circumstances, current, good or bad, because the investment provides for the corpus for our difficult days. It helps us grow rich, and that's the point of pride. For a good investment plan, everyone needs to consider four factors. One is liquidity, tenure of investment, when he wants his money back, where at what time what kind of liquidity he wants, and risk and return. Only after balancing these four aspects, one can come out with a good investment plan. And doing a good for creating creating wealth, one need to invest in such a fashion that he gets twice the inflation return. And for creating a good investment plan, one need to save more and also need to invest in such a fashion that whatever money he saves earns a decent return. And through two example, I have shown that even a small difference in saving can make lot of difference into the final outcome, and how investing over a longer period of time and getting consistent return of even 12% can make sizable difference. And the SIPs in mutual fund or investing into mutual funds and PMS in case you want to invest lump sum can help you meet your objective of creating substantial wealth over a period of longer time. Now that's what about the investment. Good investment plan is not complete if it is not combined with insurance. So for in earlier example, when I compared the saving behavior of Mr. X and Mr. Y, what I assumed that both the individual would be able to live and contribute to the corpus for next 15 years. Now assume what if one of them is not able to live for next 15 years. In such case, what would happen? That he will not be able to save, he will not be able to contribute for next 15 years, and that would not result into the creation of corpus 1 or 2 crore that he wants. Okay. In such to plan for such eventuality, one also needs to have insurance as a part of his investment plan. So if something happens, what would happen? The investment would not lead to the corpus creation, but in such case, the insurance would take care of the would provide for the this unforeseen event, and the money which we'll get from insurance would help uh, realize the same goal which one was trying to do it through by saving the money. Say in our case, for example, if Mr. X wants to build a corpus of say 1 crore, then I think for doing 1 crore corpus over a 15 years period of time, he has to invest maybe about 30-40 lakhs. He would be able to build that corpus of 1 crore only when he is able to live for 15 years. But if he is not able to live for 15 years, and if he buys insurance, taking term plan of 1 crore would take just 20 to 22,000. By paying that 22,000, he would get an insurance cover of 1 crore. And if something happens to him within 15 years, even he's not able to save that entire money, he'll still be getting around about 1 crore. So a good investment plan should be a combination of the both regular investments and also insurance. So in nutshell, that is what I wanted to discuss. Now what we can do is that we can take some of the questions which you might have regarding your current investment. Okay, so now the forum is open for Q&A. So Sejal, please you know the please handle the Q&A session. Now, Grishmit, is someone there to handle the Q&A session?
So I'm there, so I'll be
Yeah, yeah. So please tell me what are the questions.
Sure, sir.
Sejal, you can check the Q&A section.
Yeah. I'm gonna. So the first question is from Mr. M. Kumar. Hello.
Yeah.
So they've asked you to brief about ASK Vision 2025 fund, sir.
Okay. So ASK Vision 2025 is from the ASK portfolio managers. They launched it about 4 or 5 months back. Here idea is that there are certain economic trends which could rule the economic landscape for next 8 to 10 years, and these trends are increase in discretionary spend, increase in per capita income, increase in increase in rural spend, and also the value migration as a concept. So these are some trends which would rule the economic landscape. So now what this fund tries to do, this fund tries to pick up the opportunities which would benefit out of this trend. Okay, so this is a multi-cap fund, and the fund would pick up the stocks from the top 500 companies listed on the NSE. And the way Indian economy is expected to grow over a period of next 8 to 10 years, when the GDP would be roughly about $5 trillion and per capita income would be $4,000, there would be a lot of increase in discretionary spend. So it has a good combination of consumer companies and financial service companies currently, and some of the pharma companies it has. Some of the prominent names which are part of the portfolio are Abbott Laboratories, 3M India, Nestle amongst the MNC space. The consumer, some of the consumer names which are part of this portfolios are Pidilite, Titan, Asian Paints, and on the pharma space, it has exposure to Dr. Reddy, and in the financial services, HDFC Bank, HDFC Limited, Kotak Bank, these are the few names. What I can do is that I would be sending more information when we'll be sharing this presentation, sharing the presentation, detailed presentation of this fund on your email ID. I think which you shared while registering yourself for this webinar. Okay, we can take the next question.
Yeah. So the next question is from Mr. Manoj. Does a dynamic equity fund really works, or one should just keep continuing equity SIPs for prolonged periods irrespective of market fluctuations?
This time.
Hello?
Ah. Yeah,
So
can
was
you
my
repeat
voice
that
audible?
question?
Yeah, sure.
Can you repeat that question?
Yeah. So they're asking, does a dynamic equity fund really works, or one should just keep continuing equity SIPs for prolonged periods irrespective of market fluctuations?
I think when you asked about the dynamic equity fund, I think he meant to say about the actively managed equity fund.
Correct, sir.
So actively equity. So I think the essential question I think is that one should invest lump sum or one should invest into the SIP. So it really depends on it really depends the kind of money you have. In case if you have lump sum purpose available, and if you have longer tenure, then even if you can invest it now, and then if you invest it for 10, 15, 25 years through compounding effect, you will benefit on your the lump sum investment amount. But in case if you do not have sizable corpus and if you want to build the corpus, you can invest in the same mutual fund through SIP. So for example, it is not whether actively managed fund, most of the open-ended funds are actively managed fund. In that you can do lump sum as well as SIP. If you money available today, you can do lump sum, and in the same fund, you can do SIP if you want to build the corpus gradually and slowly. Yeah.
So the next
Question.
question is investing in basket of stocks, why a mutual fund better option?
Why it is a better option, right?
No. So is investing in stocks a better option or mutual funds? They want a difference.
It really depends on the capability of individual. If he is good at stock picking and managing the portfolio, he can do it by himself. But in case an individual thinks he is not capable or doesn't have time to do research, then he should take the help of professional fund managers that is available on the mutual fund manager. So answer to this question is specific to the circumstances of individual. If an individual is market veteran, he knows about the market, he can do his study, then he can manage money by himself. But he is not that expert, then he should go with an market expert, which is generally available on the mutual fund. But as far as I understand, 95% of the investors in the market, they are not equipped to handle equity by themselves. The better option for them is to go with the mutual fund.
So the next question is from Mr. Rajendra. He's looking for a CAGR return of 20% for a period of 15 to 20 years or more. Which one do you suggest? His investment amount is 30 lakhs.
Not possible. I think very difficult to come across a fund who can consistently deliver 20%.
Hello, Rishita, is my voice audible?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So what I am saying is that 20% return consistently over a period of 15, 20 years is like, close to impossible. Okay. Getting 20% would mean taking very, very high risk. Okay. I don't think it's feasible to get 20% return over a period of 15, 20 years. At the max, someone can get 20% return over a block of 3 to 5 years, but getting it consistently over a period of 15 years is one has to be extremely lucky. And I don't have any fund currently in my mind which can deliver 20% return over a period of next 15 years.
So should I go for the
Yeah,
next question?
yeah.
Yeah, so Mr. M. Kumar has mentioned, so as you mentioned, FD by Bajaj Finance and HDFC, is it safe as DHFL has also high interest FDs? Please explain your view on that.
Bajaj Finance and both HDFC Limited amongst all NBFCs are high, very highly rated fixed deposit, and DHFL is like way below in terms of credit standing as compared to Bajaj and HDFC. If you look at Bajaj and HDFC, the interest rates are not very high. They are in line with what you would expect from a AAA NBFC. Whereas DHFL, the credit standing of DHFL as compared to HDFC or the Bajaj Finance is much lower. So there is substantial difference. Okay. HDFC Limited and Bajaj Finance FDs are much safer as compared to DHFL.
So the next question is, how can we hedge rupee depreciating in its value? Should we go for buying real estate or REITs of commercial?
See, if you see the depreciation in rupee because of inflation, you can handle it only by way of investing in an asset class where you are getting return more than inflation, and two asset classes where which has delivered return more than the inflation over consistently are the real estate and equity. So by investing into real estate for longer period of time and also into the equity mutual fund for over longer period of time, you can protect the purchasing power of your investment.
So the next question is, explain investment in gold by SIP mode.
So we have one there are various gold ETFs, okay, which are available from mutual fund, and Motilal Oswal also has one gold ETF, and other like Reliance or some other mutual fund providers, they have their gold ETF. If you want to do SIP, you can invest into those uh, gold ETF, gold ETF by the SIP route, and that works in the similar fashion the way a SIP in equity mutual fund would work. So simply, what you can do, you can select any fund within the amongst the gold ETF. Can select the monthly investment amount that you want to make, write an application, and put a uh, put put automatically money would be debited the way it gets debited into SIP, and that money would be invested into the gold in a systematic way.
So the next question is, how much insurance should be done? The client's age is 45. What factors should be taken into account? Mr. Anshul Sharma.
Think at least 20 times of the monthly income should be as the insurance. So if you are earning say 50,000, then 20 times of that should be your that is the ballpark figure should be your insurance cover. Yeah, yes, it is.
So the next question is, what is hybrid MF mutual funds? Is it good for long-term investment?
Hybrid MF is basically combination of debt and equity, and it has risk little higher than the pure debt investment, but little lesser than the equity. So someone with the moderate risk and return expectation of around 9-10% or 10-11% should look forward to the hybrid. But I think I think if you have investment horizon of 12, 15 years or little longer than that, I think pure equity fund would do much better as compared to a hybrid fund in
So,
terms of returns. Yeah.
so the next question is from Mr. Rajendra. If I plan for portfolio management, maybe I can expect these results somehow nearby 15 to 20%, which
I think 15 to
PMS.
18, 15% return would be very reasonable. If you get lucky, what I'm
So,
saying is that 20% return can be there only, only for a little. If you get lucky, only for a limited period of time, maybe for 3 to 5 years. But getting consistently over a period of 20 years is really important. I
so
think,
he's just asking
yeah.
which PMS can you suggest for 15 to 20% CAGR returns? So,
I think return expectation should be around 12 to 15%, and I would suggest value PMS of Motilal Oswal, ASK Vision 2025. You can look at. Then you can look at consistent compounder fund from Marcellus. These three funds you can look at for return expectation around 12 to 15%. I do not have any fund in my mind which can deliver 15 to 20% CAGR consistently over next 15 to 20.
so the next question is, what is the best investment for my age 32?
30.
Hello, sir, is my voice audible? Hello, Rishi sir?
Hello.
Sir,
Am I
is the
audible?
voice? Yeah, so now you're
Yeah.
audible, sir.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. So actually, for someone who is age of 32, it really depends on the objective and the tenure of investment. If objective is to create wealth and tenure is longer, then one should look forward to the investment into equity mutual fund. But if tenure is short and liquidity requirement is that it should be available on demand, then it should be entire money should be put into debt. But I think someone who has asked this question and is of 32 years age, this is from the perspective of wealth creation and little longer tenure. Then I would suggest that money should be invested into to the equity mutual fund, and largely the multi-cap the equity mutual fund. Some of the example I already in my presentation, I already listed down some of the options here. You can note these options. So you can probably select Mirae Asset Large Cap Fund, Motilal Oswal Focus 25, or it can be the Kotak Standard Multi Cap Fund, or it can be Axis Focus 20. Doing SIP for longer tenure would be fine. Or if you have lump sum money, you can go ahead and invest into this fund even today.
So the next question is, what are the best 5 funds to invest in lump sum for long term in the COVID-19 pandemic
These are in
situation?
front of you. This slide, you can see this slide, right?
Yes, sir, we can.
Yeah. So these are the funds one can invest.
So can we go for the
Yeah. Next question.
So you wanted to say something, correct?
No. Next question.
Okay. Just a minute, sir. So the next question is from Mr. Mayur. What will be the investment percentage in SIP, mutual funds, FDs, etc.?
See, I think the money which you need within 3 years, okay, then that portion of money should be invested into debt product, because with that money you cannot take risk and you want that money to be available on demand. So whatever money that you need within 3 years, it should be invested into debt, and the money which you need after 3 years, then that money can be invested into equity. And within equity, depending on your risk profile, the appetite for volatility, you can go for large cap or the mid cap. If you're happy with say 13% kind of a return and want lower volatility, then you should look forward to large cap fund. But if you want little higher return, maybe in the range of around 14-15%, a little longer tenure, you can go for the multi-cap fund. But for any money which you need within 3 years, you should not park that money into the equity funds. It should largely be into the debt. And so that should be the basis for deciding how much should be into equity and how much should be into debt.
So the next question the client is trying to ask is that he wants 10% compounded return with a very little risk, and one-time capital what he wants to invest is 50 lakhs. So
I think with 10%, and if tenure of someone is 3 years, then I think investing into any large cap mutual fund today can fetch you about 12% with uh, with very less risk of losing capital over a period of 3 years. So if someone has a horizon of 3 years and willing to stay put for next 3 years, I think getting 12% to 15% return is very easy. And in the process, there could be short-term volatility, but over a period of 3 years, chances of losing capital would be very minimal from the current valuation level. So he can go for probably some of the large cap funds which are listed on this slide. He can look forward to Motilal Oswal Focus 25, Mirae Asset Large Cap Fund, or Aditya Birla Sun Life Focus Equity Fund. But if he is not okay with equity and wants to go for debt, then there is no product today available with lot of safety can offer 10%, 10% kind of interest on the FD side. With the high amount of safety, the best available interest rate today are in the range of about 7.5 to 8%. The only option for one to get 10% is would be to invest into quality large cap mutual funds.
So the next question is, what is the best plan for investment? And my age is 32 and I want to get 1 crore after 15 years.
After 15 years.
Correct, sir.
Okay.
And the client's age is 32, sir, currently.
So I guess, I think the monthly saving for getting 1 crore after 15 years, if I assume that return rate be about 12% per annum CAGR, then monthly investment should be close to 20,000 for next 15 years. The monthly investment through SIP into equity mutual fund of 20,000 would lead to a creation of corpus of around 1 crore over a period of 15 years. So 20,000 SIP, you do it into any large cap mutual fund or multi cap mutual fund over 15 years, monthly 20,000, that would lead to the creation of corpus of about 1 crore.
So the next question is from Mr. Joshi. He's saying that he's new in the market and where should he invest, though?
Pardon?
So the next question is from Mr. Joshi. He's saying that he's new in the market and where should he invest?
He should invest into equity mutual funds. If he can do lump sum investment, he can go and select any of the mutual fund that we listed. And if he wants to do it SIP, then he can also do the SIP in the mutual fund that is listed. I think someone who is new into the market should refrain from investing directly into the equity. It should largely be through mutual fund.
So the next question is, what are contra mutual funds as you mentioned in the PPT?
The contra mutual funds are the ones which basically buy the stocks which are currently out of favor. Okay, for various reasons that the sector which they are representing are not doing well or are not in limelight. So what happens is, since they are not in limelight, there is not much of interest in buying them, but they are available cheap. But what happens is that business moves into cycles. So sometimes the business which currently are in favor over after some point in time might be out of favor, and the business currently which are out of favor might find favor after some period of time. So if you buy them cheaper when they are out of favor, So contra fund tries to buy such stock where the long-term potential and outlook is good, but are currently are out of favor, so available cheap. So eventually, someday their fortune will turn around, and since you bought them cheap, and if you hold them for longer term, you will make good amount of money. So that is what the contra fund does.
So the next question is from Mr. Mehta. Investing in share is beneficial or mutual funds?
Ultimately, mutual fund also invest into shares if it is an equity mutual fund. So the question is not whether benefit of one should invest into share or one should invest into mutual fund. It really depends on the capability of individual. If you think that you can manage, if you understand equity, you can manage the risk and then you can do it by yourself. But the most of the individuals, they cannot do the share investing, direct share investing by themselves. So they need professional help. And if you like equity and if you want to make money out of equity in such cases, you would be better off investing into mutual funds. So ultimately, equity mutual fund also invest into equity. The only difference between direct equity, direct shares, and equity mutual fund is that when you do direct investing, you are the fund manager, but when you do it through mutual fund, there would be some professional who would be managing on your behalf.
So the next question is it advisable to do lump sum investments in mutual fund for 10 years? And what are the best funds in this COVID situation?
I already highlighted, yes, with 10 years perspective, one can blindly go and invest into market at this point in time. And I'm pretty sure the money would compound by at least 12 to 15% over next 10 years. I already listed these funds. These are the funds where you can pick up any of one or two or three of these funds which are listed. One of the large caps, multi caps on the equity side.
So one of the clients have asked us, can Motilal manage if I deposit 50 lakhs without risk? What are the good returns Motilal mutual funds? And he wants us to reply on the mail also.
Without risk, I mean, in fact, even debt has risk. So there is nothing like guarantee. There is always the risk. Only the risk would be lower or higher. That if you prefer lower risk, then only the best option available would be you to invest into the fixed deposit of banks or the NBFC. So that is what the option is. So where there is absolutely lower risk and your money is safe, so you go and invest into bank fixed deposits, largely HDFC and SBI. And if you want little higher return than that, you can look at the fixed deposit of NBFC. Okay, we can help you with the investment into the with the help. We can help investor to invest into the fixed deposits of NBFC, namely HDFC Limited and the Bajaj Finance. These are the two options available to us with us for the investors.
So the next question is, which shares to invest in present market?
See, I don't deal directly into shares, so I'll not be able to advise. I'll not be able to give any view on any individual shares.
So one of the client is asking, any stock crash is expected further from now or in near future? I guess he meant to ask is regarding the market, sir.
No idea, but general sense is that yes, the whole short period of time, market might give some correction from the current level. But I am not an expert on market, so I will not be able to give a definite view. But it looks like that, there could be some correction in offer.
So one of the clients have asked, gold prices is all-time high. Currently, buying gold is good or should we wait?
One should buy gold. Okay. What happens is that there is uncertainty around economic outlook across the world, and whenever that happens, what happens is people buy more of gold. So that is one reason, and second reason is that to support the economy worldwide, central banks are printing a lot of money. Okay, whenever they print money, that causes the inflation. So real value of the currency goes down, so which means that all the currencies across the world, be it dollar and rupee, they are likely to get depreciated. We are likely to see a lot of inflation in days to come because of the the currency printing which is happening. And in a scenario when the real value of dollar is going to get uh, depreciated, or the currency value is going to get depreciated, the central banks, they invest more of money, they move money out of the dollar and invest into gold. The investment demand for gold is going to go up. So according to me, the gold prices would move up. So at this point also, once I think gold can move up to the level of 51, 52,000.
So the next question is, what about banking and PSU debt funds to park some money? Is it safe? Is it a good option?
No, I am not a big fan of sectoral fund. I would always recommend one to park money into diversified fund, which has mandate to invest across the universe. I would not recommend one to park money only with the banking and PSU.
So the next question is from Mr. Raj. What does PMS category mean in your suggestion? Motilal Oswal Value PMS and ASK Vision 2025.
Like
I guess
mutual fund.
the client,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hello.
So I guess the client is asking, what is PMS, I guess? What is that
Yeah.
category?
So PMS, like mutual fund, it is a way of investing into equity market. Okay, so in mutual fund, uh, the in mutual fund you have fund manager who manages the money. In PMS also you have fund manager who manages the money. So there are technical difference, and the bigger difference is that mutual fund, someone who has 500 rupees also, 5 crore also, 500 crore also can invest. But largely PMS is meant for the HNI investor, because here the minimum ticket size is 50 lakhs. And here the fund manager has more leeway to construct a portfolio. They have more flexibility to build a portfolio as compared to the mutual fund, because mutual funds are largely perceived to be meant for retail investors. Uh, and little the PMS portfolios, the way they are done are little focused and less number of stocks as compared to the mutual fund, and offers possibility of 2-3% extra return than the mutual fund. Yeah.
So the next question is, planning to do so in like Kotak Mutual Fund, Mirai? I don't. So I didn't get the question. Just a second. So what should we do to buy gold and SIP?
They should invest into gold ETF. Okay, there are various gold ETF. If they go and check on the Google, there would be a lot of gold ETF they can figure out, and they can go and invest into the gold ETF. Even SIP can be done in the gold.
So the next question is from Mr. Raj again, sir, who asked us regarding PMS category. So he's asking, but does that not mean that PMS is more risky as compared to a
Yeah,
mutual fund?
you can say so. In terms of, there would always be concentration risk, and since portfolio is less diversified, one has to have to select PMS fund manager after a lot of due diligence and based on past history. Yes, because of less diversification and concentrated portfolio, structurally PMS has little higher risk profile as compared to the mutual funds which has 60-70 stocks in the portfolio.
So the next time, Mr. Rama Mohan has asked us to forward the details of PMS for 50 lakh investments to his mail ID.
Yes, we'll do so. You can take his email ID and we'll send it.
Sure, sir. I will just ask him. Correct, sir.
We can take one more question because I have another call to take.
Correct.
One or two more questions. Sir.
Yeah, sir. We'll just take last two questions for the day, sir. So one is, kindly prioritize top 3 fields and stock to invest in current scenario.
I'll not be able to offer any one stock. At the best, I can suggest which mutual fund one can invest, which are already listed on this slide, which is in front of us. Yeah, Sejal.
Yeah, so the last question is, so please suggest penny stock buy, fundamental stock and debt free for long period, I guess.
stock specific, right? He wants
Yeah,
the
it
idea
is
on-
stock. Correct. So that's all for the day. So like we had so many
Yeah.
questions. So
Okay. So thank you all the part. Yeah. Hello.
yeah. So your voice is audible.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you participants for your valuable time. I enjoyed doing it. Looking forward for some sessions like this also in future. Stay home. Stay safe. All the best to all.
Thank you, Rishi.
Okay.
I'm sure the participants took a lot from you. They got a lot of knowledge on their funds and all their questions were clear. Thank you so much, Sejal, for reaching them out.
Thank you.
Thanks, participants. Session now. Thank you.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.